3 years later, disaster would strike again in the second longest tunnel in the world. Nearly 11 miles long, the Gotthard Tunnel is the most critical road connection between Italy and Germany. And it was considered to be one of Europe's safer tunnels. Until October 24th, 2001. That day, as Nadja Weiss heads south to celebrate her birthday with her mother and her dog, she braces herself for the long drive through the tunnel.
My mother, she always feared the tunnel in all the years before.
Every day, nearly 20,000 vehicles drive through the Gotthard Tunnel, where traffic moves in both directions. The risk is greater for vehicles in a two-way tunnel, according to police investigator Andrea Quattrini.
In the St Gotthard tunnel, you have the traffic that goes in both directions. You have no separation between the two lanes, and this increases the chances of a head-on collision.
That's what happened in October 2001. With no division between the two lanes, a truck traveling in one direction swerves into the opposite lane and plows into another truck.
When he hit the fuel tank, the gasoline goes everywhere on the road. And there was a spark of the cable of the batteries, which caused the ignition of the fire. After 2 minutes, we had fire on the scene.
Outside the tunnel in the fresh air, Oliviero Toscani and his wife witnessed the scene from the other side.
We saw something below us.
Ironically, the very thing that was supposed to save people in the tunnel put them directly in harm's way. In the Gotthard Tunnel, exhaust is sucked through hundreds of ventilation holes and expelled into the Alps through 4 sets of powerful chimneys. On the day of the accident, ventilation fans ramped up when the emergency alarm detected the burning trucks. The fans sucked the smoke through the tunnel at full speed. Unfortunately, people stuck between the fire and the chimneys stood directly in the path of a wave of killer smoke. With oxygen running out, the only hope for those lost in the smoke are the 74 emergency exits that line the Gotthard. Each connects to a parallel escape tunnel that leads to the outside. Signs indicate where to find the nearest emergency exit. But in the smoke, the signs are invisible.
So the only chance was to touch the wall and walking along it. And then you find an empty spaces. This indicates to you that you have reached an emergency shelter. This is a separation between living and dying. As you open the door, you have the pressure that keeps the fumes out and lets you in.
Deep inside the Gotthard Tunnel, it would be another day before rescue workers could enter the tunnel to search for the missing and the dead. Investigators found the bodies of 11 people, but only 1 person died in the flames. Most were discovered outside their vehicles lying on the tunnel pavement, where they had died from smoke inhalation. By the time they left their cars, it was too late. Afterwards, survivors wanted to know why.
There are times when I ask why there is not more money invested in safety.
What many did not know is that an investment in safety had already been planned before the accident. An upgrade to the ventilation system. In the months the tunnel was closed following the disaster, it was completed. Now vents are opened only above the site of an accident to pull the smoke up and not through the tunnel. Better lights have also been installed on the exits so people can find their way to safety more easily. One of those who didn't make it was the driver who caused the crash. He was found dead, only steps from an emergency shelter. Authorities later determined he was driving drunk. The disaster was a result of one man's mistake. But in a tunnel like the Gotthard with two-way traffic, more accidents are bound to happen.
This tragedy can happen anytime. Can happen again right now when we are talking. So the best way as for the security is to make a second hole so that the traffic is no more bi-directional but only one way.
You can only hope that people will learn from events like this.
Until roadways and tunnels can catch up to the rising volume of vehicles, the best thing drivers can do is play it safe.
The highway is not a safe place, and I think that you can be lulled into believing that it is a safe place, but you need to be attentive at all times because anything and everything happens out here on these highways.